Welcome to my YouTube channel Programming Dunia. Today I am going to discuss about the middleware in the .NET Core. In this video I will cover what is the middleware, what is the custom middleware, and also we will discuss some of the framework provided middleware. So we will discuss one by one. Firstly we will discuss about the what is the middleware. Okay. So, for what is the middleware in the .NET Core? Middleware is nothing. What a component class which execute on the every request in the .NET Core application. It's simply I can tell you about that middleware like it will come on the request and response pipeline. So whenever you are going to send the request, then middleware will execute. Once we are going to return the response, then middleware will get executed. I will explain with the example also, but right now just will let you know about the definition about the middleware, what is the middleware, how does it work. Okay, in the .NET Core we can create a multiple middleware. We can add the multiple middleware. We can also create a multiple custom middleware, and we can add into the request pipeline. So here in the image you can see we are going to send the request and we have a three middleware 1, middleware 2, middleware 3. So firstly like we will implement the logic into the middleware 1. What are the logic we want to implement here? Then we can use to the next it will going to call to the next middleware. Then next middleware logic will get implemented. Then we are going to call to the next middleware. Then we can implement the next logic. Then once it will all middleware will get executed, then it will call to the particular request to the controller and an action data will get executed. Then they are going to return the data. Then after that, once we are going to return the data from the request, then we are going to send the response to the client. Before the sending the response to client, we will add the logic into the middleware also in the after the next. I will show you in the code also. Right now just I can let you know about the what is the middleware. Okay, so now is it clear what is the middleware in the .NET Core? Now we will discuss about the what are the framework provided middleware in the .NET Core. I will explain you few of them. You can get more about the MHDN. There are n number of middleware which is provided by the framework .NET Core. So we are discussing about the few of them like authentication middleware, routing middleware, course middleware, static file middleware, session middleware, error handling middleware, app and use. So we will discuss some of them. So authentication middleware. Authentication middleware, what is use of the authentication middleware? So like we know we are going to authenticate our application with the username and password, where then we can validate this username and password. Based on that we can send the token. Then authentication could be the JWT token, could be the cookie based anything. So such type of mechanism we want to implement the .NET Core, so we can use to the authentication middleware. What is the routing middleware? With the name of the routing middleware we can easily understand like how we can route your request to the controller and action. So through the routing, like what are the controller will get invoked, what are the action will get invoked. With the help of that, we can implement the routing middleware. Okay. Then CORS is like a cross origin resource sharing for the application. Actually, in the .NET Core, whenever we are implement the web API, so in the .NET Core web API does not allow to get the request from the different domain. So with the help of the course, we can enable the course, and we can allow to the request different domain request. Static file middleware, like what are the static file we have in our application like HTML, CSS, image. So without involving the pipeline, we can directly use to these static file. Session middleware, name of the middleware we can understand session. We can manage the session through the session middleware. Error handling middleware, like we can handle the error, what are the exception and other error during the request response pipeline. We can log the error information, generate the error response, and also we can redirect to the custom page. I'll show you some code here so that I can just explain you. So I have created one application, the middleware application. Okay, so here I have not done anything till now. So I am going to show you like these are the middleware like user authorization, map controller. So these all are the middlewares. Run. I have already explained you. I'll show you code also. So before that, okay, so like let's discuss first run and use. Then after I will move to the custom middleware, how we can create and how we can use them. So okay, so how we can use to the app and run and what is the difference? I'll show you on that part also. Right now, okay, now I can use to the run. Okay, now run. I can add. Here I am going to asynchronous call for that. Then I need to the context. What are the HTTP contexts I am getting here? So here like I am going to await. What are the contexts? Like I have a HTTP context. Then I can write the response there. Then I am going to add the response dot write async. Then I am going to add here run middleware. Okay. Now after that, I'm going to use to the use middleware. So you can see the difference between them. You can easily differentiate yourself. Does not require to explain from my end. Okay. Here I'll explain you next. Okay. So now we are going to use. So in the use we have a next parameter also. Here you can see we have a no next parameter. Then we are going to send request to the next middleware. Okay, let's see. I'm going to run this code, then we can see the output. Firstly, I can use to the use here, use middleware. I'm going to run this program. Let's see what output we are getting. Based on that, we can understand how it is work, run and use middleware. Yeah, I think it's so simple. Okay, I'm adding the memory. I'm going to remove. Okay, it is going to run. Please bear me. Why it's taking long time. Yeah, done. So in the Chrome, we the Swagger are get open. So I have not make any changes apart from the middleware. So you can get the gate of I think what controller we have, the weather forecasting controller. Okay. So here I am going to try to execute and execute the program. Let's see what response we are getting. Run middleware. We are not getting the use middleware because after the run middleware, no other middleware are getting call. Due to that, even also response are not getting here. We are getting only one output, run middleware. We are not getting the next. It means like next middleware are not getting call. In case of the run, it means the last terminal. You cannot run to the another middleware. If you want to run the another middleware, then you can use to the use. Let's see, I'm going to just cut this line and paste it here. And let's see what output I'm getting. I should get the output of the use middleware and run middleware both, because here I'm going to use, then they need to be in the output, as well as they are going to call to the next middleware, and next middleware is the run middleware, and they need to perform something. Let's see what output we are getting so that we can get the differences between them. What is the difference between them? Here you can see the use middleware and middleware. It means both middleware are getting run. So it's very clear what is the difference between them. Now I'm going to show you one example for the custom middleware. Okay, so what is required to the custom middleware? Custom middleware required if you want to do the exception handling, if you want to log some request and response time, then we can use to the custom middleware. Okay, now I can create one custom middleware for log request and response time, so that I can understand how much time it will taking to request to response. Okay, now I can put custom middleware. Okay, now okay, what we need to do into the custom middleware class? We should have a request delegate which required to call to the next delegate, and we have one method that is called to the invoke, where we can put their custom logic whatever we want to. Right now I'm going to write some request and response time. So let's see. Okay, now private read only request delegate, then make the name next public custom middleware, and I can make to create a one parameterized constructor where I'm going to initialize the next method. Then I told you we have one method into the custom middle which is called to the invoke. Okay, public async task, then the method name should be the invoke. And we should have one parameter which is called to the HTTP context. Okay, so HTTP context, like we are getting the arguments from the HTTP context. If we want to add, if we want to use the, we can. But right now, just I want to log the request and response time. So I'm going to call next. Firstly, I can use to the await and next and HTTP context I can pass here. So in the theory, I told you already, like in the middleware, we can add it into the request and response pipeline. Once it will go to the uh, request here, we can put their logic. Once whatever action will get invoked, they can perform something. Then back to again in the middleware here in the part. Okay, let's see. I can show you something. Okay, so now I'm going to print the log the data for request response. So here I can do request datetime dot now dot toString. Okay, here I can add by dot dot dd minute second and also millisecond I can edit so that I can see the differences between them. So this is the request. Whenever middleware will get come, so it will be part of the request. Once action will get invoked, then they are going to send the response. Then we need to log the time for the response. So this is the request response. Let's see. I'm going to run this program. I am also going to add the debugger so that I can show you how the requests are getting flowing in our application. So only one thing which is remaining, I need to add this class. This is the middleware class. So where I need to add it. So I need to add into the program.cs file app.use middleware where I can put the name of class custom middleware. Sorry. So in the custom middle, I have added the custom middleware. So now I'm going to run the program. Let's see the what requests are getting flow. And I have already explained you about the request flowing. It will call to the first middleware. If we have a second middleware, then it will call to the second middleware. Then it will going to call to the controller action. Then send the response. Then again they are going to process through the last middleware. Then before that and the first middleware on that. Okay. So here I am going to execute the method try out execute. So here you can see I have added this middleware into the request pipeline. So it will come. I'm getting the all HTTP parameters. So what are the request parameter we have? What are the item we are going to send? And everything is there. Okay. So here I'm going to log the request. Then it is going to call to the next middleware. If there are no next middleware, then it will call to the controller, then action invoker. Okay. This is the action and controller are getting called. Then they are going to return the data. Once it's going to return, then again it will go to the middleware. Why it is not going? I think I have not added debugger. Let's add the debugger. I can run one more time. F5. The middleware will get called. Then it will go to the next. There are no next middleware. Then action will get executed. F5. Then it will come to the. It will come to the again the same middleware. Okay. I can get the response. F5. I can show you the. Here we can see the request and response. This is the millisecond differences between the request and response. Even also like here we are not performing something, so it's not taking the huge time. Even okay, now I am going to add one thread.sleep. So let's see it will work or not. Just for for 1 second, because right now I'm getting the difference between the millisecond. So I should get the difference between the second as well. To see the output. No, I need to run this program. 1 second, I'm going to stop. program because the changes should be reflect there. Let's see what output we are getting. If I'm doing correct, then I should get the correct output. Yeah, let's run. Timeout. Very good. You can see it's loading, so it's taking time. That means definitely it's a 1 second difference. You can see. So I think everything is clear now. Everyone can understand what is the middleware and how we can create a custom middleware and what are the existing middleware we have and how does it work in the during the request pipeline. Okay, so I think if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.